from the day I gave the Bar Ilan speech, the principles have always been the same. The Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers to threaten us, which means that in any political arrangement, Israel must retain the overriding security control in the tiny area west of the Jordan, from the Jordan to the Mediterranean, because otherwise you'll have Daesh, ISIS come in, or Hamas come in, which means Iran, and that's the end of peace. That's the end of the Palestinian Authority. It's the end of, could be a perceptible, a powerful threat to the survival of Israel. So I never make mince words about that. Israel will retain the overriding security control. But other than that, the Palestinians will be free to govern themselves. And I don't think there's any problem with that. People say, yeah, but you know, if they don't have control over the military and security things, that's not real sovereignty. You can't have another country, retain its military forces, a former enemy. How could that happen? Well, how about American forces in Germany, almost 80 years after the fact, or in Japan and so on. Well, we have a mosaic of failed states in the Middle East. We don't want to create another failed state. And the key fundament of stability and of success and of peace is security. Israel will maintain that security for our benefit, but also for the benefit of the Palestinians. I don't want to annex the Palestinians as citizens of Israel, and I don't want to have them as our subjects. They can live in their own sphere, govern themselves with their own powers, their own parliament, their own flag, their own embassies, what have you, the whole trappings, except the powers that are needed, that we need to retain in order to protect ourselves. And this is not a gimmick, it's not a spin. It's real. This is the kind of arrangement that we have to
what country has ever done that? You talk about Germany and Japan. Germany and Japan have control over their military. They're not, I mean, you're not, if you were to give the Palestinians the deal the Germans got after World War II, the Palestinians would be happy. I mean, that's not...
No, actually, they say we don't want any residual forces and residual military presence beyond, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. It's now going on 80 years that the Americans are there.
Germany has full sovereignty in military and defense issues.
Well, I think that when the Palestinians demonstrate that they can, they can actually govern those territories and not have them taken over by Hamas or by ISIS, then come and ask me again. But here's what happened. We left Gaza, okay? We went by the book, what the international community often says. Go to the 67 lines, take away all the settlements, give the keys over to the Palestinians. We did that in Gaza. What happened? Within about 5 minutes, the Palestinian Authority was kicked out. Hamas came in, which means Iran came in. They fired thousands of rockets from little Gaza right into Tel Aviv and to every part of Israel. And the last thing we had was peace, because we didn't retain security control. And we don't want to repeat that. By the way, the same thing happened when we left Lebanon. Exactly the same thing. So we don't want to repeat this a third time. And I'm proposing a different model. I'm saying let them govern themselves, but let us be responsible for the things that determine our future and our survival and theirs. Namely, then the first power is security. That's the most important power. It's a new model. You have to get used to it. And it's the right one. It's a realistic model for an enduring peace.